How's it going? So, I've been watching a few videos online about ADHD. I was diagnosed when I was 31. I'm now 44. So I was one of them that slipped through the net as a kid, you know? I was labelled as a naughty kid. I was labelled as a, troublemaker. Always in the naughty class, even though I was a high achiever. I was somebody who retained information. If something interested me, I retained a lot of information, I loved English, I loved history, I loved maths, but unfortunately I was never able to, do any exams or anything like that because I was thrown out of school. In infant school I got thrown out. Not many people get thrown out of infant school. I got thrown out of infants, I got thrown out of primary, and I got thrown out of 2 secondary schools. So I went on my merry way in life, found drugs, stimulants. I didn't know I had ADHD. I didn't know that stimulants were prescribed for ADHD. When I found stimulants, they sort of shut my brain up. They shut up the noise, and I was able to focus. I now know that, a lot of people with ADHD actually do use stimulants, kind of like self-medicating. So, went through life, ended up going to prison quite early. I was 16 when I went to prison first. I ended up spending over 14 years in prison. But that's my journey, I got diagnosed when I was 31. I tipped down to doctors, asking for, what's wrong with me. I knew something was wrong with me. I knew I was different. And, I needed answers. So eventually, the GP gave up and referred me to a psychiatrist. I walked in the psychiatrist's office, introduced myself, sat down, and within about 5 minutes she said, "I'm pretty sure you've got ADHD, I'm going to refer you to the Maudsley Hospital in London, Denmark Hill. It's they specialise in, ADHD, autism, OCD, all them sort of, cognitive behavioural scientists, I suppose you call it. Anyway, so, yeah. So I've been watching videos online, and I've not really found anything or anybody, who represents me. I'm sure there's people on there, similar to me, but I thought I'd give my take on it. I now know obviously where I've done a bit of research. Once I was diagnosed, I've done a bit of research, and I found certain symptoms that I had that I didn't know were symptoms. Like the hyperfocus. So like I said earlier, if I had a subject that interested me, I'd be all over it. For instance, Shakespeare, love it. It is merely a lust of the blood, a permission of the will. Come be a man, drown thyself, drown cats and blind puppies. I have professed me thy friend, and I confess me knit to thy deserving with cables of perdurable toughness. Yeah? When I was diagnosed by the Maudsley, when I had my assessment, they said it was the longest ADHD assessment that they'd ever carried out. Now that, I think is actually something, I'm a special case or extreme case of ADHD. I love royal history. I'm not a royalist. If you are, all power to you. I'm open-minded, but not saying I'm an anti-royalist either. I kind of think there should be a middle ground, but that's another story. So I thought I'd what I'm going to do today, I'm going to just show you how, I've been through the system, like I say, drug addiction, a lot of pain, a lot of misery, but I don't dwell on it. I'm not in self-pity, I've been through all that, but I'm now in treatment, yeah? I've come out of prison in the last 3.5 weeks, and I'm in a treatment centre in London, Shoreditch. So what I thought I'd do, I thought I'd show you, because I'm using the therapy and the counselling, kind of as much as obviously I've got a problem with drugs, I really believe that my problem is ADHD, that's where the trouble comes from, when I'm, I get lost and, I feel like I don't fit in, I feel less than, all them feelings which, are traits of addiction, but they're also, as I now know, they're prominent in ADHD. So, doing people's thinking for them, thinking I know what you're thinking, what you think of me, my low self-esteem, low self-worth, all that stuff. It's all really intertwined, addiction and ADHD. So what I thought I'd do, I thought I'd show you, maybe try and help people to calm down, from 100 to 0, it's possible. I'll show you. So what I'll do now, obviously right now my ADHD is manifesting. I'm talking really fast. I'm aware of it. That's the one good thing, If you get a diagnosis, you can be aware of when you're acting out or when your ADHD is manifesting. And right now my ADHD is manifesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to chill, and I'm going to do some breathing exercises. I'm going to show you a quick version, obviously, because, otherwise you're going to probably stop watching. So, but this is what I do. So, I'll sit down, put my feet flat on the floor, yeah? Ground yourself, feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your knees with your palms open, yeah? Back straight. It's just meditation, yeah? And then, so obviously, it's not a proper meditation, this one, because I'm aware that I've got a camera on me and all that. But what I do, straight back, and then shut your eyes, feel your feet on the floor, wiggle your toes, and then sort of recognise what you're doing. What I'm doing is I'm trying to focus on my breathing, on my posture. Deep breaths through the nose, out the mouth. So do 10 breaths like that, and then on the 10th breath, hold. Take another breath in, and then a big one out. Hold. And then just repeat that a few times, just being aware. Make yourself aware of your surroundings, the birds, the noises, the cars, the people, or whatever's around you, so that you're in tune with yourself. Get in tune with yourself. Eat right, hydrate. It's so important, all that stuff for us, Try and look at what you're eating, E numbers and all that. Be careful, colourings and fizzy pop, all that stuff, jelly sweets. It's important. If I want to, progress in life, and fit in with the normal people, the muggles, as someone else called them, yeah, because we're magicians, yeah, we've got magic. ADHD channeled right is a superpower. I promise you that, yeah. Some of the highest achievers have got ADHD, but some of the people, a higher number also, obviously have got addiction problems, But there's a way out. There's a way out of addiction, yeah. And, managing my ADHD is important in the whole scheme of, it's a holistic approach. I have to get everything right. I can't just focus on stop using drugs. That's not the answer, I need to focus on, everything about me, because otherwise I'm going to make mistakes again, I go to the gym, my ADHD manifests. I come out the gym, and I'm hyper, and I have to be aware of that, So yeah, I hope that helps someone. So yeah, peace and love.